Overwatch talk? I hope so, because that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to be celebrating here. You guys having a good day so far? Yeah? Oh my gosh, I love the energy, and I want you to keep that energy going, because here is Charlet, Fred, and Lucie! It. I'm so happy that you're all here. I think everybody out here, they're happy.
We're so happy.
You guys look amazing.
What's going on, Salt Lake City?
So I'm going to ask a few questions, and I'm a film critic, by the way. So I'm going to ask some questions not related to nerdy gaming things, because I know you all have those questions to ask. But what I want to talk about is how beautiful this game is. Usually when you get into shooter games, they try and make it look as real as possible, right? But as a film critic, watching other people play this game is almost like watching a film. Can you talk to me about how it is to be a part of something so visually different from other games?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, can you talk to me about what it's like to be so beautiful?
I mean, you are so beautiful. But yeah, anybody want to go with that one?
So wait, the question is what it's like to be part of something that's so beautiful, visually beautiful?
Yeah, a video game that is visually so much different than other games that are similar.
I mean, yeah, it's amazing just in general to be part of something that kind of broke grounds in the field that it's in the genre. I remember, I could just talk about walking into the studio for my first session and seeing a big screen with a big picture of Mercy on it, and just being like, oh my god, I have to bring her to life. Like I have to do that, justice to that beautiful, amazing character design. So of course it's such a privilege, and it's so fun, and it's so inspiring. And I think we've talked about this a lot. The diversity of the characters and the sort of real three-dimensional aspect to all the characters is what we think is part of the success of this game. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
It's visually stunning, like you say. It's really different. It's Blizzard does that though. I always find that their character designs, they're always at a little next level. You know, it's really quite amazing. And I love.
If we can get some water.
I'm gonna get the pail.
I think there's some. Somebody will grab water. Yes, we have water. Yes.
You can't watch your time. I'm not gonna have it happen.
You should really take better care of yourself.
You're gonna make people pass out and we're not even a minute in.
Yeah, I also love the films. I love the cinema pieces of each one of the characters. That was really what drew me to it. It's like you've got, like you said, it's a snapshot of the real world, and it just twisted enough. Not all the way, it's not crazy, but it's just enough that it's a very different and immersive experience. So I'm really, it's an honor. I mean, this whole thing, I can't express to you enough what an honor this is to be part of this.
Well, and I really love what you said, it's just enough, and there are shorts. Not only the game, but there are these shorts, and you all also do, oh thank you, we've got one right here.
Yes, thank you.
You're also voice characters for other projects that are not video games, so what is the difference between stepping into the studio to voice a game or to voice an animated movie or short? Is there a different way you get ready for this, or is it pretty similar?
I think the style is different, but I think the craft that you bring to it is pretty much the same. You have your own sort of style of preparation, and then you go in and, you know, when you're doing like an animation, for example, you're going, you know, you're doing dialogues and having conversations, but so we're doing the same thing in Overwatch too. Imagining, oftentimes, whether you're doing animation or video games, you're not usually in the room with another cast member, you're just by yourself, and so a lot of the acting component comes from your imagination and being able to get into the conversations that you're in, whether you're in game mode or animation mode. So I would say it's pretty similar.
Yeah, the big difference is the linear versus the non-linear. Like when you work on a TV show or a film, there's an arc and you kind of know where this is going. There's one ending. What's interesting about video games is, you know, obviously there's multiple endings oftentimes. Also how you play affects, you know, are we friends? Are we enemies? Am I being killed by you? Are you killing me? Are we partners? It all depends on what choices are made. So the scripts, when we used to get them, are like phone books, if you know what those were. No, they're just like really thick, because they have to all connect. It's writing in 4 dimensions. These writers have to have everything hook up perfectly with another scene. So I know you guys know that, but in acting, it's fabulous because you get to know your character in every situation. It's a great way to know a character really well because you play multiple versions and emotions and how that transpires with the players. You know, so it's an interesting experience.
I love that. If you have questions, please get in line because I have 1 to 2 more questions and then it's
Keep the
all
algebra
up
to
you.
Are you guys good at algebra? Are you good at math? Are you
All right.
Geometry, I'm good at.
So I have this question, and I know it's going to be super weird, but at the end of like Marvel movies, you have these superheroes that go off and they have shawarma together. They're done doing their job, and they all go hang out. If your 3 characters were to be done with your job on the video game, and you were to go out to dinner somewhere after all of your fighting, where would you go and what would you be eating?
Oh my God. I thought you said have trauma together, but you said shawarma.
I mean, you do have trauma. You have
And then they don't have trauma together.
superheroes do have trauma together.
Let's see.
Fred, do you like sushi?
I do.
Okay, I think we'd all go eat sushi.
I think yes,
I
and
think
the
Jack
person
Morris
would
is
be in
doing you.
for sushi. Can Soldier use chopsticks?
Absolutely can. Look, I'm not a young man anymore. I've used chopsticks.
I hope we're all picturing this.
Nice.
I've been around.
Hi, guys. Was there anything you felt like you brought to each character when you were hired that wasn't there before in the script or what the writers had planned that you sort of came up with on the fly and the writers were like, ooh, that's really good, let's go with that?
For sure.
Yes.
Every part of it.
I mean, like, did you have a sense of like what your characters were the first time around? Like, for me, it was really strange. I got picked or asked to audition because Andrea Torres knew me and said, the director, and she kind of said, this is a lot like you. This character is very close to kind of how your brain, like, in a weird way, vocally, like he's closest to my own voice than a lot of other characters that I play. And just his attitude and the way he's way cooler, obviously. But like, so I didn't expect, I saw this hardened soldier, you know, more like the Clint Eastwood type of very like tough, and where that carried into the dad memes from the fans. You guys made that happen. You really did, because I didn't see him, I just saw him as like a tough coach or a general who just didn't want to lose his team, didn't want to lose a soldier, you know, it's really tough, heartbreak rich type of guy. Then it slowly turned into the dad thing.
Is he a zaddy?
Yeah.
You're a zaddy.
Zaddy. No, so it was really, so that, I think there was a kindness to him that I didn't expect to emerge through it. You know, more of a caring dad type of character.
So did you learn that about yourself? That you have that's
You know, then I became a dad.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the craziest thing, like right around that time.
After, right?
It was after.
Yeah.
So was strange, crazy. Yeah, it was really cool, actually.
Speaking of Zaddy, your kid's name starts with a Z? Right?
Z. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zemo. Zemo Oliver. No, not Baron von Zemo, no. But yeah.
Did you audition in person? That was your first one?
Yes, I went into the studios and I had auditioned and it was weird. They wanted me to try. We had three kinds of. They wanted this voice. They wanted my own, but we had three different versions of it, like high, middle, and low. I'm not kidding. It was like, okay, that's just too low. That's too much. Okay, up here. Yeah, maybe up in here. No, that's no. You know, so it was like we had to find him kind of in here. You know, like where would he sit comfortably? It was very funny. But it was, yeah, it was the first time I got anything where someone was like, hey, no, this is closer to your, you know, archetype or your type. You know, I was like, oh, that was cool. That never happened. That's so rare. You know, so I was very grateful for that.
For me, when I got the audition, it was like one of the few. Sometimes when you get an audition, you just like it clicks, and you're like, oh, I totally know who this is. And oftentimes the producers themselves, or the people who are like the writers and the devs, they don't know what they want. They don't know. They're just kind of writing like a general description. But I think really what wins people the roles in these auditions is the person who comes forward with the most authentic take that they see, that's a very clear vision of the character. And so for me, when I saw Hana's song, I was like, oh my God, I know exactly what I want to do. And so the voice that I brought to the audition, or I turned it in, you know, I didn't get to go in person. Mine was like that's special. I ended up going in for a producer session in person, and then met Michael, Chu, and Andrea Toyes, and then so when we were there, I just went in, and the voice that you guys hear now as Diva is the exact voice I brought into the studio. They didn't change it. And so I'm a firm believer, especially if you guys are interested in acting or voice acting, when you are auditioning, really go for who you feel is the most authentic version of the character and how you envision them, because that's really what's going to resonate with people. So the person I brought in, the diva that I brought in, is the diva that you all see and love.
Wow. It was the opposite for me. Yeah. I had no clue what I was doing. I was staying on my mom's couch because I just had gone through a huge breakup. I climbed into her bed. I had to do like a self-tape too. I was under her cover. She was like, do you want tea? And I was like, shut up! I have to record something! And the audition, I listened back to it not too long ago, and it's so bad. I found it. It's the genius, I guess, of Andrea Toyes that she heard, whatever she heard. Because the audition is literally like, heroes never die. Yeah. I'm right behind you. I didn't know it was
really like that.
No, it's really bad, and I could try to find it now, but it's really terrible because I had no idea. It said like Swiss, and I'm German, and the Swiss accent is different, you know, and I was nervous about that. I'm getting nervous now talking about it. Oh my God. And it said like medical doctor in combat, like really tough, but really compassionate, and like all these, you know, kind of like opposing character traits. And so I just sent it in, and I felt like I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? And I think like a week before that, I auditioned for something with a German accent, and I got a note back that said, this doesn't sound German, it sounds Indian.
Oh no!
And I was like, what is happening in my life? What am I doing? And I had this breakup, and everything was weird. And then I got this call back, and I went in person to this callback.
In New York?
In New York, yeah. They were patched in from LA.
And who was running the session?
Andrea and Michael. Oh, no, it was that,
Just like
I'd been to before.
An engineer.
Yeah. And Andrea kept saying, oh my God, your voice is like a warm blanket. I want to curl up on a couch and wrap myself in your voice. It's so beautiful. And I wasn't born in this country. I was 8 when we moved here, but still, I kept thinking, why are these Americans always so fake? Like, why does she have to say that?
Meanwhile,
she doesn't like
giving you the role.
Yes, exactly. And I was like, she reading this, and I was so in my head. And even when I got it and went in for the first session, I was so nervous because I felt like they're gonna find out I'm not Swiss and they're gonna fire me and it's gonna be so bad. And then we went through that same thing as you talked about, Fred. We did like a higher pitched, a like medium pitched, a lower pitched, a like really intense German accent, like a really light German accent or Germanic accent until we settled on, you know, what you guys hear in the game now. But it was definitely a team effort, and yeah, I owe a lot to Andrea being able to have heard something in that audition that convinced her, because the audition was not good. But maybe it was authentic in that way, you know, because I just sucked back then. No, it was an interesting experience how that all came together. But yeah, there's lots of different ways that it happened, I think, for everyone.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for coming to Salt Lake, you guys. It means a lot. I'm really happy you guys are here. But my question, if you guys are allowed to answer it, right, you don't feel pressured if you can, right, is the big part about Overwatch 2, one of the biggest parts, was the story mode, right? And I'm wondering, individually, how much work you guys put into that, right? Any stories with that, and your emotions when it came out to be canceled or discontinued?
We don't talk about that at dinner.
I was waiting for a laser to come down, and everybody in the audience was like, oh.
Good question, though. Thank you for asking.
That's game.
Yeah.
In Overwatch 3?
Just kidding. I think we were all excited about that, equally as excited as you guys.
No, seriously, it is. And it kills us when we can't talk.
Yeah.
Just like, I need to check in on things. Am I allowed to mention this?
Yes, Fred was out there going, have you heard it? And we were like,
First of all, it's crazy to be standing right in front of my main. Wow, that's crazy, Soldier.
Soldier, what's your name?
Leo.
Leo, Soldier Rock. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. But I was just wondering if you guys have a favorite voice line, and if you do, could you do it for us?
Everybody get your cameras out.
There's so many. Oh gosh. I still love to say stay frosty. I didn't start this war, but I'll damn well finish it. And I want you all to tell those young punks to get off our lawn.
Right now, for Overwatch 2, I would say, too spicy for you? And the classic would be, Happy Halloween!
okay, I love someone called the ambulance. A good one. And then from the OG ones, I really like this German one. Deine Hexe ist da. What does that mean? Your witch has arrived. Oh.
Hi!
Do you guys actually play the game? And if you do, who is your least favorite character?
You'll never get us to say it.
I don't play well enough to actually have a least favorite character.
I played a lot of one, like a lot, and my husband was a Junkrat main. And sometimes a Moira main. But I was always playing Diva just because I feel like I had to like keep up with all the nerfs and the buffs and stuff like that, and wanted to know like the trauma that you guys were going through. And so I used to play that. And then I had like babies during COVID, like back to back, and then Overwatch 2 came out. I don't get to play as often, but I'm not gonna say who my least favorite character is. I actually don't have one. I love all the characters, but I'm not a Diva fan. Oh my god.
It starts. This is how it starts. I was trying to get
Lock the doors.
Impossible.
I'm sorry. Oh my god.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I'm in a room, I'm walking into a wall, then I'm dead, everybody's yelling at me. I'm my least favorite character.
Do you have a favorite skin and
favorite skin. I really, for like the newer ones, I really like the Bumblebee skin.
Oh,
So
so
your favorite skin?
No, because like Biva is the Bumblebee skin.
Oh,
I'm saying like
that's who you hate?
No, hate is a strong word, but like I'm not a fan of her hair in it.
It's the hair, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Everything else super cute. I love
Bumblebee.
Yes.
Oh, not
yes.
Mercy Bumblebee.
No. Yeah. Then are you okay? Are you okay now? Okay. Are you okay? Yes, the diva Bumblebee. And she has like not cute hair. It's like this yeah. Everything else is really cute. I love Biva. I love her.
That sounds somehow
Biva? Oh, it does. Oh, not suitable for work.
evil.
Biva. Oh.
Sorry. Okay.
I have to respect the chef. For me, it's respect the chef. Yeah,
Hi.
So with the original game being announced over about a decade ago now this year, I wanted to ask, what has it been like for you guys to be able to work on the game for that long, and what has it meant to you to see everybody be able to connect with these characters for the last 10 years?
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing. It's one of the greatest things in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, as an actor working in video games, it's a gift. It's humbling. I didn't know it was going to become worldwide. I thought it was just cool. I just thought a game was cool. I thought it was like, I just loved the exceptional characters and the diversity of the different kinds of the ways to play and stuff. And the fact that we get to embrace, oh my gosh, so many different communities and worlds. And like for my part, I was so happy to be having a voice and representing for soldiers, and then it became real LGBTQ, and it's like, wow, I get to embrace these things, and it's just, and the list goes on though, it's humbling, it's honor, it's a true gift, the best fans ever, really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excluding your own characters, who do you think would have been the most fun to voice?
Besides our own?
Yeah.
We get this question.
Yes.
Calm down.
Nice. I always say Widowmaker because I want to talk like this in it. She doesn't talk like this, but that's how I put her voice.
We smell Winston.
Do your best, Winston.
Why, Winston, no, I can't. But it's good to see.
Oh, that's so good. Is that you, Winston?
So there are many secret voice lines and interactions in the lobbies and whatever. Did you have any creative process behind that? And what one is your favorite?
I have been saying on panels like this for a long time, sort of jokingly, that I want a voice line for Mercy where she says, "Oh, just go heal yourself." We talked about it.
Yeah, but I think there was a dance I did that ended up being a silly thing that all of a sudden caught fire and got in the game, and it wasn't intended at first. Yeah, so that was fun. He's got a little boogie dance.
The karaoke thing? Yeah.
That was fun. You look amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm really nervous.
Okay.
It's weird talking to my main viewers.
Oh. Hi.
Oh my god, I know. So I know that like voice acting isn't totally linear when you go in. Was there any lines, and this question for all of you, that like you had a hard time staying in character and would just had to take like a laugh break? Like what was your weirdest line that you remember just like laughing at when you saw it?
Did you say something about linear?
Yeah, well like I know sometimes when you voice, like sometimes it's hard to like with certain lines you kind of have to laugh at it for a second. So I was wondering if there were any
Because they're out of
lines like that
context,
for you guys
yeah.
that you had a hard time like not like taking it seriously for a second.
So the thing that Fred was talking about, the karaoke bits. Well, when I went in, we were recording, and then they made up a karaoke song. Whatever you want to do. Okay, go. And I was like, what? And they were like, Darren did a rap, so... And I was like, what is happening? So I just started going, I'm a dancing doctor, I'm a dancing doctor.
Is that a real song?
It went in.
Is that a real song?
I don't think so.
It sounded like a real song.
I'm a dancing doctor.
I'm a dancing doctor. I think I know it.
Yes, it's the new Taylor Swift. That was funny, and we laughed because I was like, what is happening and what am I doing? And I think I did a lot of other silly things that didn't make it in, but that's something that comes to mind.
I didn't do the karaoke thing. Unless, did I? Maybe it was another, I should have, okay. I was like, I did? But that would have been fun. I'm a dancing demon. Hi.
Real quick with my question, I've been playing Overwatch since the open beta, and I just want to thank you guys for everything you've done for the community, and I hope we get many more years of Overwatch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Love you so much. Thank you.
My question is, what do you guys think of the new upcoming My Hero Academia collab? And
We talked about this.
which anime or IP would you like to see in Overwatch next?
Ooh. I've always said I want to see Mercy in Grand Theft Auto.
Spicy.
She just walk around going, stop it, what are you doing?
Oh, wow.
Hi.
I think a Call of Duty comedies.
Hi, Tina.
I can't believe I'm in front of you right now. You've been my comfort character for like forever.
Oh, thank you so
And
much.
my question is, how do you feel about like being people's inspiration and like a way to keep going and like seeing them dress up as you? And this is for everyone, by the way.
Yeah.
And also the mic fell off.
I think that first
Oh,
of
the
all-
mic fell off?
Oh. Oh, do you want to just like push it back?
Go back in, yeah.
Or
There you go.
go in?
We have help coming.
They just need to be sure. Mic drop. Drop it.
It's really good. I think that, well, first of all, thank you so much for those kind words. I feel like often we all feel very undeserving of them. We're all very, imperfect human beings, but the fact that we've been able to be in this position and earn these roles that are now almost 10 years old and iconic, thank you, is just a huge honor for us. And so when we see the soldiers and the mercies and the divas and all the characters out there, even when we're at a con and I see a Reinhardt and it has nothing to do with diva, well, it does, it's in our game, right? I feel just a sense of camaraderie and connection, and I think for that reason, all of us try our best to, put our best foot forward in, for example, for me, I'm a big mental health advocate, and so that's something that I, use my platform to encourage people to always go towards, caring for their own personal mental health and the mental health of others as well. And so for me, it's wild, especially because I'm like, oh, I wonder if anyone knows who Diva is anymore. And there's like a sea of divas and mercies and soldiers out there, even at this con alone. And so it's super flattering. We're so grateful. We're always going to be grateful. This, I think, is what's beautiful about the Overwatch cast and family. We're always grateful for the opportunity we were given a decade ago and the opportunities that we continue to get in connecting with you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, it's true, like we don't have a direct audience when we do our work. When we do it now, it's like even just right in the booth, and we've got a director and a writer and guiding us, and we got to figure this out. And so when we talk to you all and you say, hey, you really helped my childhood, or this got me through, or even with Overwatch sometimes, this is how I met my husband. This is, this is like a lot of this.
There's so many Overwatch babies.
They're babies.
Yeah, like,
it's so, and to say,
and pets named Mercy and Diva and Soldier, like, yeah.
It's crazy, but just to then say like, you had an effect, or something that was positive, or it brought people together. This game brings people together, interestingly enough. And so it's mind-blowing, because we don't know that. And when you see that person say, thank you for being a voice for me, or for this or that, you just honor it. You honor it, you hold it. And it's the greatest part it's really one of the greatest parts of our job.
Yeah, and also, I think a lot of you maybe don't realize that as much as we give to you, or as much as you tell us we've given you, you give to us, you really inspire us as well. And meeting you, hearing you talk about that, this job, like any other job, you have self-doubts, you have a lot of ups and downs, and sort of, it's not an easy industry sort of to be in. And so meeting you guys, hearing your story, it grounds us, but also you give us just as much as we give you. So it's a beautiful exchange, and that's why it's so great to meet you guys in person, and to be able to do that for 10 years. It's like the greatest privilege ever.
True.
Yeah.
Hello. So, my question's specifically for you, Fred.
All right.
So, speaking of childhoods, really, the first gaming role that I knew you for was Magnus in Kid Icarus Uprising.
Wow, okay.
So, I wanted to ask you, are there any experiences, either from working with that cast or with the team at Nintendo, that stand out to you?
Yeah, well gosh, and I mentioned this too in regards to Mass Effect. I grew up in a different era with Pac-Man and all this stuff, and it was so interesting to see all the theater work, all the classical acting and everything gone into games. And the games are operas, and they are serious stories, and they're incredibly complicated, in-depth characters. And so to that end, when we talk about Nintendo or any of that, or Magnus or any of that, I was just blown away. Saying, wow, these are amazing parts, and these are incredible stories to tell. And so not only that, but like we were saying earlier, you get to know that character really well, because it's 100 different interactions. So you really get to know someone pretty well in the character. You get to, even if you don't play the game well, you live the game. We live this stuff. So it's wonderful to see this, the reaction. So yes, I answered your question long term, but that's kind of it. It's profound. It's incredible art form.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
I've been playing the game for about 7 years now.
What? How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 9.
Oh my gosh!
Since you were good parenting. Good parenting.
Yeah, the question is, do you like,
Oh, you have a press badge. Okay, wait.
That's fine, sorry. Do you like the OG Overwatch better, or do you like the newer Overwatch?
Are you allowed to answer?
Are you pressed? Because we're not going to answer if you're pressed.
This is my dad's.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Earmuffs, Dad, so they can answer this question.
Yeah, you can answer that. Also, I feel like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but for me, there's not really like an OG Overwatch, and like,
Thank you.
It kind of like the character stayed the character, and
it just evolved.
Yeah, and they just came up with different stories and different situations. So that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah, and it's like I don't make a separation.
They're different. Yeah, they're different. But I do like that Overwatch 2, like everybody got a whole bunch of skins, and they came out a lot faster, and we have a lot of options and things like that. So
yeah.
What was that? Did you say? Oh, that's my opinion.
You kind of touched on this earlier, but I just kind of want to get more specific with it. What has been the most surprising fan reaction to your character or your performance?
Surprising?
Let's see, surprising. I gotta go back to the dad thing. For me, anyway, it was just funny because I've never worked on a game that was so fan-driven. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was surprising to me that you guys actually had an effect on how things are. Like, most games you work on, there's like a really fleshed out story. It's part of a novel, maybe. Right. It's stuff that you would never, ever, be able to sway or do. And yes, the comic, the book, the graphic novel, the books are incredible. That's what we're going off of. But truly, the way certain things evolved came from fans, and that surprised me in a good way.
Gotcha. I mean, he is the grill master, so...
Right, yeah, come on. Raise the stakes, come on. That was surprising to me.
True. I think a lot of games, like, nobody is listening to what, like, they don't have, the devs don't have their ear to the ground on like, what the fans want, the ships that are, in the lore and all of that, but they incorporated pretty much everything they heard. I used to tweet about food all the time. I still do. Well, not tweet, but I still talk about snacks and stuff all the time because I just love eating, and all of a sudden she's eating Doritos and drinking Nano Cola and stuff like that, and so that was really surprising for me too. It's the same thing where, like Fred said, they would bring in certain aspects that I just never thought would fly in like the world of Overwatch, and it did. So yeah, that's for me too.
And on the fan interaction aspect, in Vegas, a family came up to me with a little baby, and they were like, "Would you sign this onesie?" And I was like, "Sure." And I thought they were going to take out a onesie for me to sign, but they just laid the baby on the table.
A little Overwatch baby.
It might have been the same baby.
It was him. I signed the baby, and that was surprising. Yeah, I signed the baby, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Vegas, thank you.
Am I close enough? Okay. So in a world where everything in Overwatch has been fixed, talent is gone, Blackwatch is gone, Anubis' AI has got its shit together and it's doing things right. Wow. And everything else with Overwatch's universe is fixed. What are the characters doing in their new slice of life anime?
Characters doing what?
What are the characters doing in their new slice of life anime?
Wow.
Anime, you said?
Yeah.
Oh. Eating Nutella. That's my answer.
Wow, that's a great question. I don't know, you guys have any, I've almost have two minds on it for my guy. I don't know. Part of me would like to think he would settle down and find happiness, because he just can't find it. You know what I mean? It's impossible for him right now. The other part of me feels like he's a soldier that needs a cause.
Yeah, what does he do without war?
I think he'd love an end to war. I really do. As much as a soldier as he is, I just feel like he's taken over the dispossessed. So I think he would find some way to help people who were either abused.
He runs an orphanage where he's a real dad.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I don't know, something. I'm of the two minds on it though. It's a good question.
Thank you. Let's get through. Should we get through? Or do you have something?
No, I said Nutella.
Okay. Of course. Her whole life would be Nutella. Yes.
Hi. I was wondering, did you guys do acting when you guys were younger, or is that something you guys found later on in life where you're like, this
Oh my gosh, I love this question. I'll go first. I did not. I wanted to be an actor. I came out of the womb impersonating people, and then my mom would be really freaked out because a plumber would come over, and then she's afraid that the next time he comes over, I'm acting like him in his face and embarrassing the family and stuff. And so it's something that I always wanted to know, and so I always say share this at panels, but where don't do the thing that you think is going to make a lot of money. Do the thing you really want to do, and the money will come. For me, I always wanted to be an actor, but that's something that later on, eventually, when I gave myself sort of the freedom to go for it, I did, and I ended up starting after college. But that's for me. How about you guys?
I grew up in a theater family. Almost every woo theater families. You are also damaged. Cool. Everybody in my family is in that world. Writers, actors. My mom's a singer. My mom told me me that the only other thing I ever wanted to do when I was 4, I told her I would like to be somebody who wakes people up by smacking them in the face with wet washcloths. I think I did a service to the world by becoming an actor and not becoming a weird washcloth terrorist. So yeah, I grew up in that world.
Yeah, I grew up in the world too. My family worked in production. My mother was an actress for a while and wrote some movies and Vincent Price actually. And I was a theater guy. I was in stand-up comedy, improv, and music, and I loved the theater route. So that's kind of the boring answer. I didn't know though, and I always loved doing recording. I always loved recording, and I didn't know though that would be my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm really grateful for it, but I didn't know. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
We have time for one more question.
Let's do speed.
Yeah, we'll try to do speed. Yeah, speed round. Like one-word answers.
Okay.
32. No.
If you could design a skin for your character, what theme would you go with for that skin?
Steampunk.
Oh.
BTS.
Surfing.
Oh, yes! I'm a surfing soldier.
Thank you.
I'm still a little bit of Overwatch also. But will you guys do your old lines, please?
Of course.
Heroes never die.
Nerf this.
Nerf. Wait. I got you in my sights.
I have a really silly question. Do you guys ever read the comments on their Instagram page?
On our or
on the Overwatch?
On the Overwatch one. I don't.
No.
Okay, good. Please don't read it. You do not want to get into that mess.
Okay, we won't. Thank you.
Thank you for the heads up.
Hey,
Thank you so much. I just wanted to ask, now that Overwatch 2 is like a fully fleshed game, how often do you guys go into the studio to record new lines? Is it just every time a new character joins, or how often?
It really varies. There's not like a one formula. Sometimes twice a year, sometimes 6 times a year.
Yeah, that's right. I just said that exact same thing to somebody else. Yeah, it's like, it used to be 6, sometimes it's 2, and it goes back to 4. Like, yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, Mercy.
Oh my gosh, Mercy made since the beginning. Which character do you think you would be friends with, like go hang out with?
These two.